Hello, my name is Joe Crenshaw, and I'm Senior Director of Technical Services at APC. APC has provided funds for research at Crenshaw. Crenshaw is a federal research facility in Spain that is approved for doing research with African swine fever virus. Today, I want to talk about two studies we have recently conducted at Crenshaw, where the objective of the studies were designed to determine if African swine fever virus contaminated liquid porcine plasma that was added to feed for 14 consecutive days would result in causing infection in the pigs. To prepare for the study, we obtained serum from an African swine fever virus infected pig. We took that serum from that infected pig and then added it to commercial unprocessed liquid porcine plasma, and then took that contaminated liquid porcine plasma and added it to commercial feed. We then fed pigs the contaminated feed for 14 consecutive days. In study one, we brought in 20 healthy, naive weaned pigs and divided them into a positive control group of 10 pigs that were fed 20,000 virus particles in feed daily for 14 days, or a negative control group of pigs that were just fed normal feed for 14 days. The pigs were acclimated for 5 days, then the feeding period started and was done for 14 consecutive days. And then the pigs were observed for another 5 days to day 19 of the study, and 2 pigs from each group were necropsied to determine if we could find any infected virus in their tissue. The results of the first study, again feeding 20,000 virus particles of African swine fever virus in the feed daily for 14 days to the 10 positive control group pigs, and then observed them for 5 more days without any virus in the feed, showed that all pigs remained healthy through the 19-day period of this part of the study and did not become infected with African swine fever virus, even in their blood or in the tissue analysis of the 2 pigs that we had necropsied. So we extended study one to confirm if the liquid plasma inoculum that we used on the feed contained infected virus if given by different administration routes. So at day 20 of this study, 4 pigs were injected with 20,000 virus particles intramuscularly. All 4 pigs were given an intragastric gavage of the plasma inoculum to provide 100,000 particles on day 20. We observed these pigs to day 28 of the study and then necropsied all pigs to test for virus infectivity. The results of the extended portion of study one showed that injection or oral gavage of the virus into the pig would cause infection. Pigs were showed symptoms and confirmed infected in both blood and tissue. In summary, for study one, 14 consecutive days of feeding virus daily did not result in African swine fever infection. Pigs also remained free of African swine fever even 5 days later after the feeding period. However, when injected or gavaged, this contaminated liquid porcine plasma was capable of causing infection in the pigs. We did a second study. In the second study, we did a very similarly to study one. We brought in healthy, naive weaned pigs, and this time we only used a positive control group of 10 pigs that were fed 100,000 virus particles in feed daily for 14 days. And in the second study, we observed them for even a little bit longer period of 9 more days to day 23 of the study. The results of the second study during the feeding and observation period showed that no pigs became infected with African swine fever virus, even though we fed them 100,000 virus particles daily for 14 days in this study. We did have one pig die on day 22 that was unrelated to African swine fever virus, and we confirmed in tissue analysis of that pig that had died that it was negative for African swine fever virus. So again, in study 2, we extended the study to see if the liquid plasma inoculum that had been contaminated with the virus could cause infection by a different administration route. So 6 pigs were intragastrically gavaged with 500,000 virus particles on day 23 of the study and kept to 32 days of the study and then necropsied to determine if they had become infected. The necropsy results of study 2 showed that pigs challenged by gavage on day 23 had become infected by day 32 of the study, and demonstrating again that the African swine fever contaminated liquid plasma inoculum did contain enough virus in it to cause infection. In summary, for study 2, again, after 14 consecutive days of feeding 100,000 virus particles daily, did not result in African swine fever virus infection. So in conclusion, over both of these studies, pigs are not infected with African swine fever virus when consuming feed with a high level of infected virus. Therefore, we conclude that feed represents a low risk of transmitting African swine fever virus. Thank you for your attention.